One more woke company that uses Sweet Baby Ink gets what it deserves.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to look at the latest game to see its downfall, thanks in part to its connection to the woke consulting firm Sweet Baby. Ever since
I love to see it.
February, we have seen a completely different narrative surrounding this company, which was once a badge of honor for these various developers to say how woke they are. It is now associated with their downfall, and a lot of them are trying to remove any trace or connection to this company because it is a revenue killer. And
You know what's absolutely the funniest part about Sweet Baby Ink? They came in, they probably made millions with complete BS, as we all know, because, it's woke. And these companies just paid them money for what? Going bankrupt? This is the most insane thing ever. These companies literally paid someone to go bankrupt and stop existing. I'm having a hard time to comprehend how does one do that, even, honestly.
in fact, a lot of companies are getting goodwill from gamers for actively denouncing this company. Black Myth, Wukong, and Game Science, the team responsible for it, are not only getting praise for the promising gameplay that it's showing, but also the fact that they allegedly rejected a $7 million extortion attempt from Sweet Baby, who essentially said, pay us $7 million for our services or go at the risk of being canceled and labeled as some sort of problematic company and game. And that's really what we already saw. As soon as this
Okay, so this is quite funny. This is one of the things about Black Myth Wukong that people don't understand. This is a Chinese game. China pulls all the strings. China decides everything. Obviously, China is not gonna decide, not gonna let Sweet Baby Inc. decide how it's gonna destroy the Western society. China wants to do it on their own terms. So of course China's gonna say no. We are gonna destroy the West in our own terms, and that's what's kind of happening here. And people are singing their praise about this. Trust me, the Chinese version of this game is so different than the Western version of this game. Have fun.
this news came out, we saw several games journalists come out with articles and hit pieces trying to slander Game Science and this game as well, which all of those claims have been debunked, but that's a story for another day. We've also seen a lot of companies try to shed their connection with Sweet Baby. We saw this with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, who at one point was proudly displayed on Sweet Baby's announced projects. Since then, it has been removed, and also a lot of the employees at Rocksteady have tried to denounce any connection to the company that they used to openly celebrate their connection to. And it's no surprise that this connection to Sweet Baby.
By the way, it's so hilarious because the funniest part about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and Sweet Baby Inc. is the fact that they both said, oh, yeah, we worked with each other. But nothing really happened. Yeah, it's like we just worked with each other, but nothing really happened. No one from Sweet Baby Inc. did anything for Suicide Squad, just Justice League. Yeah, we just gave Sweet Baby Inc. money for no reason. Oh, and the writer who is making the story for Suicide Squad, the Justice League, who is also working at Sweet Baby Inc. Don't worry about it.
Played a role in the failure of this game. The timing of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League's release couldn't have been worse. It was only a few weeks before the massive wave of criticism would start towards Sweet Baby, and it's not really a big surprise that in connection to that, they lost $200 million in revenue for Warner Bros. In fact, it has been recently reported that the game division saw a 41% decline in revenue thanks to this game, and has also lost 98% of its players for a live service game.
Now, to be fair, you can lose 98% of your player base and still be technically a successful game. But, well, when your peak player base is something like a little bit more than 1K, yeah, things are not going well.
Released this year, that is an astronomical loss of players. Now, a lot of games journalists and Sweet Baby defenders, they like to look at the criticism of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and their connection to Sweet Baby, and they say, hey, that's an unfair outlier. That's just a game that happened to not do well for reasons that have nothing to do with Sweet Baby. But on the other hand, they also say Sweet Baby's connection is responsible for the success of Alan Wake 2. They always mention Alan Wake
Alan Wake was woke. A lot of people hated that.
2, and you can see it's proudly displayed to this day on their projects.
Also, Alan Wake 2 is a follow-up to already a successful game.
And they say that not only is Alan Wake 2 one of the greatest games I've ever seen, they also try to claim it is a financial success. It shows that Sweet Baby's connection can supposedly lead to higher revenue. And that is not true. Now, at one point, in their representation about me section on Sweet Baby, they would even promote Alan Wake 2. However, after the big push against Sweet Baby started in February, you would see people at Alan Wake 2 start to panic. You can see the lead developer here trying to say that it's not true that Sweet Baby had this close connection to the development of this game and also some of the changes made to its characters. But just like anyone else trying to denounce their connection to Sweet Baby, this lead developer lied. And they were caught in a lie where basically, formally, they proudly announced that the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. had a big influence on the game and some of the changes made to its characters that people have defined as woke and some...
Yeah, that's why people didn't like these. Dude, listen. No, wait, no, I can't even give that example. Damn. But yeah, Alan Wake 2 is pretty woke.
DEI nonsense. And also, a few days after that, I guess the company was really starting to panic because they then lowered the official minimum system requirements for the game to run on PC, hoping to get new people in. Because ironically, this game actually got off to a really good start, but as soon as February hit, when the anti-Sweet Baby narrative really kicked up, their sales have gone through the toilet. And as you can see, this user collected an exhaustive list of some of the bots.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure when about everything I know about the Alan Wake 2 situation is it already it started off strong, but there were a lot of problems because the game looked woke in a lot of aspects. So it started off strong because it's the sequel and everyone loved the first one, but you know, people buy it, people play it, and they're like, there's a lot of woke shit here. And other people were like, oh, better not play it then. There you go. The problems were even before this.
That were being used to promote this new minimum system requirement reduction for this game. You can just read some of these. It is ChatGPT levels of nonsense here. It's obviously the product.
I can finally dust off my old PC and join in on the Alan. Dust off my old PC, boys. Dang. Yes, finally, my ancient potato PC can run Alan Wake 2. Great news, I can finally dust off my... Oh, that's a repeat. I'm thrilled to hear Alan Wake finally acknowledge that none of us have a top-tier line computer. Finally, my old potato PC can handle the game time. Dust off my... Everyone's... Okay, yeah, this is ChatGPT. Fun fact about ChatGPT. When it came out, no one was prepared because no one exactly saw anything like this, and it did seem kind of flabbergasting, right? And, well, when people learned what ChatGPT does, they were flabbergasted because of the flabbergasting way that ChatGPT uses language to flabbergast people. And I'm saying flabbergast here intentionally because ChatGPT has these phrases that it just wants to constantly use. And that's why I said flabbergast so many times, because that's how ChatGPT would put it. If there is an associated phrase to a situation that is commonly used and sounds a little bit cooler than, you know, any other word. And yeah, dust off my old PC, boys. Time to dust it off.
Like the botting, and likely someone involved in the production of this game was trying to promote it through these tweets, and again, they got caught doing this, and it looks really bad. And as it turns out, Alan Wake 2 was not the financial success all of the supporters of Sweet Baby have been trying to claim. In fact, it is a disaster. This was reported only a few days ago by Remedy, the company responsible for Alan Wake 2. Apparently, to this day, they still have not generated enough revenue to start collecting royalties. That is really bad.
Ooh.
So as it turns out, The game was fully funded by Epic Games, and Remedy.
You know what's the sad part about the Alan Wake 2 situation? It's the fact that if you actually removed all the woke shit, it would be a really good game, probably. It actually would be a really good game if you removed all the woke garbage.
Well,
because it's extremely on the nose when it happens. Now, it's not perpetually through all of the game, but there are moments where you're like, oh yeah, this is very visibly woke. And that's really bad. If you remove those moments and replace them with something, that a normal person would enjoy, Alan Wake 2 could have been actually a big deal.
Only receive 50% of the net revenue after Epic Games gets their investment back, which they still haven't. So the company Remedy has not even made a cent, and they're not even close to starting to make any money on this. It's actually crazy. And like I said earlier, this game got off to a really good start with sales. In February, they proudly reported that they sold over 1 million copies globally. But since then, they have not announced any further sales, and I think that's because they've been really bad. Their connection to Sweet Baby really shot them in the foot, and ever since then, ever since the big push against Sweet Baby, it's affected their bottom line. They're kind of stuck with their connection to Sweet Baby at this point because it's so obvious, and they're still proudly displayed on the Sweet Baby official site. Now, moving on from that game, let's get into the most recent example of a game being absolutely destroyed by their connection to Sweet Baby. We're going to be talking about the game Capes. So this is a game developed...
No idea what this is. Doesn't look woke from what I'm seeing here, but doesn't also look good, honestly.
By Spitfire.
Just in general, this doesn't look good.
Interactive and published by Daedalic Entertainment. You can see a lot of bad recent reviews causing the overall reviews to be mixed. And that is in part because of their connection to Sweet Baby. You can see Cabrutus here, the creator of Sweet Baby Inc. Detected and DEI Detected, would add Capes to their list. Now, this is something that was not blatantly obvious. This game is not listed anywhere on the Sweet Baby site, or there's no official mention of the connection by the development team or the publisher team. However, as discovered by some users, in the credits for this game, you will discover that they have...
Damn, that's a lot of consultants. Again, honestly, I don't like Sweet Baby Inc., obviously, but I can appreciate the grift. Sweet Baby Inc. is literally squeezing the last drops of blood out of stones that are desperate before they completely just turn into dust. That's what they are doing. They are getting paid to destroy our industry. And everyone is so stupid they're actually going with it. It is insane.
Basically, the entire Sweet Baby team listed, 12 consultants from the company listed, which is a pretty big contribution from Sweet Baby. On top of that, look at some of the names. Do they look familiar? Chris Kindred. Do you remember this individual?
No.
Well, you should,
I do.
because Chris Kindred was the Sweet Baby Inc. employee who started the entire wave of negativity towards their company. They were the one that sped up the negative reaction to Sweet Baby. There was, of course, some criticism of Sweet...
Bro, imagine you come to work one day and everyone is completely up against you because you destroyed their company because you couldn't shut up on Twitter. Damn, that must feel horrible.
Sweet Baby brewing for months before this, but back in February, Chris Kindred would make a post directing their followers to report and take down not only the personal account of Cabrutus, but also Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, a Steam group on there that at the time had only a tiny, minute fraction of the following it does now. And of course, we know the history that happened after this attempt right here. However, seeing that connection to Sweet Baby being discovered about a week ago, the publishers would come out in a desperate attempt to revive the image of this game. And let me just say, it would only backfire even more. So on Steam, this Penta individual who works with the publishing team would make this statement. You are a little late, actually. We already had 3 months and 14 pages of constructive discussion about DEI in the forum and delivered a gameplay update focusing on exactly what the player base wanted, leading to an 80% positive recent reviews. But you don't have to take my word
What?
for it. You can actually read up on it yourselves. But we were already able to explain that Sweet Baby Inc. only worked briefly, mainly to bring the 4 to 5 people strong indie dev team in contact with fitting voice actors together with the devs 2+ years ago, and many first skeptical players were able to find out that there is no hidden agenda or something else we, in quotes, force down your throats or any other concerns they had besides a well-rounded, diverse.
Okay, so I don't care what this says. Obviously, after the first sentence, you are a little late. Actually, we already had 3 months and 14 pages in constructive discussion about DEI. What? Why would you even have a discussion about diversity, equity, and inclusion? Why? Unless you want to do woke garbage, why would you ever even have a discussion about this? This just a sentence like this just instantaneously means everything you're gonna say forward is gonna be a lie or complete garbage.
First cast, obviously. So you can see here they're trying to say, oh, we don't have this connection to Sweet Baby, and the only reason you're mad is because you're bigots. Obviously, you hate seeing a diverse cast.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the diverse cast in the
Well, he got
apparent
me.
connection Sweet Baby had to getting the fitting voice actors, and from people who have played the game and reviewed it, I have heard that the voice acting performances in their attempt to be diverse came off with these bizarre and seemingly nonsensical accents that really sound awful. But anyways, we continue on. They say, so why don't we focus on the most important question that the original poster was mentioning already? Is capes fun? Well, is capes fun? Let's find out. Well, it had a few hundred all-time peak when it first released, and now, only a few months later, is at a peak of 28 players in the last 24 hours. Yes, that is another game completely destroyed. If it wasn't already destroyed, the connection to...
I mean, just from this art, the art that this game called Capes has doesn't even honestly look woke. It just looks horrible and dumb. For example, this doesn't even work. This doesn't even look like it was made to fit in the same game. What the hell? The art style between these two characters is completely different. This just looks so bad and so stupid on so many levels.
Baby being discovered was the final nail in the coffin. Now, seeing the reaction to that and more people raising awareness about their connection to Sweet Baby, this publisher would come back and add more, saying, why are 12 people listed, the Sweet Baby in the credits, when they didn't do more work on the game than connecting with VAs? It's an industry norm that if you contact a company, you credit the whole company, or at least...
No. That's not an industry norm.
They will tell you themselves that they want to be in your credits.
No, that's also not a norm. No one can tell you, oh, I need to be in the credits. That doesn't happen.
If we really would have wanted to hide something, we wouldn't have put SBI in the credits at all, nor would we have already been talking about this in the Steam forums about it for the last 3 months after release. Another question someone said, why did you still work together with them after all they said? Where they respond saying, the devs collaborate with Sweet Baby Inc. in early 2022. We are aware of these statements being done by individuals connected to Sweet Baby Inc. in the years to come. But in 2022, there was no sign of that. It is likely that the decision would have been different in 2024. So they're basically saying, we contacted Sweet Baby in 2022, and now that we know all this stuff that gamers have exposed about this company, if we made the same decision in 2024, we would have gone a different route. They would not have worked with Sweet Baby. And here's another one saying, you have to learn that. And then they respond saying, as a company bringing games to an international audience, we take the term inclusivity and equality literal. We don't condone hate towards any type of group. This includes among people of color, LGBTQ+, and others, white male gamers as well. It is sad that we have to actually word it out. It should be a given. We are all gamers, no matter who we are. If a diverse cast of heroes makes you not want to play capes, that's your.
Why do you, if we're gamers and we care about gaming, why do you think a diverse cast of heroes is gonna make the game better?
Your
Lies.
decision, but we are surely not the enemy. At least we don't see you as one for making this
Hmm.
decision. But at the moment, some, not all, of you are actively trying to harm a small indie dev studio to teach them a lesson that they never really needed to learn. Now, here is the hard part. I think, yes, I probably do believe them if they're
Ah.
trying to decide on whether or not to work with Sweet Baby in the year 2024 right now. They probably wouldn't because the
Yeah.
reputation of Sweet Baby is that bad. But back in 2022, there was plenty of evidence to discover about these Sweet Baby employees that made them look bad. And on top of that, let's focus on two things. This comment about white male gamers being welcome as a part of this audience, and also the fact that this small indie studio is being bullied. Well, look at some of the employees. Remember this Lego Butts individual? This is a
Hey,
Sweet Baby Inc.
he.
employee who has gotten a lot of criticism for a great number of tweets. They have a whole compilation of them saying all these disparaging things about white male gamers in particular.
Had a nightmare that I was a white white male gamer. Jeez, man, I can relate. I also woke up with that nightmare. Woo! Man, I'm good.
And on top of that, they seem like they don't really discriminate with some of their racist tweets. And making it even worse, Lego Butts for many years has openly shared their responsibility for DDoSing a charity event led by Mark Kern that was trying to promote
Oh yeah, I remember
female
that one.
indie devs. So I don't want to hear about the bullying here.
Bro, you can't promote the wrong female indie devs. Listen, you can't promote the wrong people. You can't promote the wrong people. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, Hispanic, ancient, Austrozeist, or whatever. As long as they have the wrong views, they're not the right people. How do people not understand this? It's so easy. What the hell?
hired someone who has openly tried to sabotage events that were intended to help female devs. Like, it's ridiculous. You should have done more research on these people. You didn't. And it was all there. All this stuff was publicly available a long time ago, many years ago, especially the disparaging tweets that we just looked at. Those have been up for many years before 2022. And there's really no excuse for not looking into these people who I'm sure you paid a lot of money for their consulting services. And in wake of
no one giving a crap, let's end this. Anyway, that was Rev Says Desu. Nice. 10 out of 10. Bye.